I'm here with the amazing ladies from Rooster Teeth, and of course we're just kicking it in the Citizen Lounge. So how are you ladies doing? You guys have been here, you just got in, but what have you guys been doing here at NYCC?
We've been hanging out all weekend, actually. I mean, I've come in a little bit later because now I have mom responsibilities. But we've been hanging out at the booth all weekend, and it's been fantastic to see all the fans. We always love New York Comic Con, just the amount of people who are here and the tons of cosplay that we get to see. It's like sensory overload.
Oh yeah, it's always so great to see and talk to all the fans that come to see you, and then also just kind of be a geek and nerd out on your own is always so fun.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I got nothing. They've said it all.
They've said it all. I do love when we get to see our Marvel cosplayers. Have you gotten to interact with some cosplayers from RWBY?
Oh my gosh, all weekend. It's been actually really insane to see how many cosplayers are here, and then if not just cosplayers, but then we've got these new shirts going on this weekend.
Oh yeah?
And seeing everybody with their little favorite, their main girls, or what are they? The best girls.
They're best girls.
Everyone's wearing their best girl t-shirts.
Their favorite ships.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome because the RWBY characters are so identifiable. So even when we're up high looking down on the floor, you could see
there's huge
so many sides.
Yeah, the size. You can see all the colors in the crowd, so you definitely know where the RWBY cosplayers are at all times.
For some of the fans out there who may not be as familiar with your characters, can you give us a little bit of a preview of a 1 to 3 sentence synopsis of who you play on the show?
Sure thing.
And please set up the world, because it's a really interesting world that it exists in.
Of course, yeah. So RWBY takes place in the world of Remnant, and there's a school called Beacon, which Team RWBY attends, and there are actually a bunch of students classified into teams to fight monsters called Grimm. As the show in its current state is, they have moved past the school that they're attending, and they're entering the real world and a lot of the adult problems that come along with it. Yes, I know. Drama.
Adulting, right?
Adulting
Started paying taxes this year. It's great.
Yeah, one of them's buying a house. They got a mortgage payment. No.
It's tough, man. It's tough. But for me, I play Ruby Rose, the main character and team leader. She is very young and naive and having to learn a lot about the world around her and kind of dealing with relationships that she hadn't experienced before, and especially trust issues amongst her and her friends in the world outside of the school.
Right. Awesome. Well, I voice Weiss-Schnee in RWBY, and she comes from a very prominent family. At first, her character is a little bit sassy, but she has a deeper backstory that everybody's kind of, figuring out as it's unraveling and learning how to socialize and be part of a team. I voice Blake Belladonna, who is a faunus. She's a cat girl, essentially. But the faunus are people that are animal and human. A mixture of the two. Sun is a monkey, and we've got antlers and mermaids now. It's very exciting. But the faunus are a group that are I never know how to phrase this correctly, but prejudiced against. And they all live on this island by themselves because they've been pushed out of the world because no one likes them. And she's part of this group called the White Fang, or she was, and now she is again, and it's a thing. But yeah, no, she's a bit more subdued, likes to read books, likes tea. She's just a very chill character.
Yeah. Cat naps.
Cat naps.
Cat naps.
A lot of
yes.
those. Yeah, I want to give her a laser pointer and just see what happens.
She did. Yeah, you did.
Volume 2, baby.
Cliche.
Yeah. So I play Yang Xiaolong. She's RWBY's older sister. She's a bit more hot-headed, has a bit of a temper, which has not worked well for her in other volumes. But she's very protective, she's very loyal, she cares about family a lot, and she has a mother that abandoned her when she was very young, so she kind of had to take on this motherly role for her sister and kind of all of her friends. She's got 2 shotgun gauntlets that she uses to fight, which are the most badass thing ever.
Does she have 2 though?
I guess 1 technically.
Yeah. So who's the most like their character in real life?
Oh gosh, we feel like we're all a little bit a part of our characters, but honestly, I think the biggest switch is that she's very much like RWBY.
I'm definitely more like RWBY. I'm very hyper and not as sassy as I play my character. So that's why it's always fun to play a little bit of someone that's not like you. I think I'm a bit I'm either extremely introverted or extremely introverted. It's I can switch it on. Yeah. For cons, you get really hyped up, and I can do that. But I much prefer stay home and not talk to people. And,
which is a Blake thing.
Yeah, which is why I think I'm half of me is very like my character.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the only difference between me and Yang is that I don't have a temper at all. I don't.
She doesn't. It makes it more scary, though.
Yeah, I kind of just internalize all my anger. It's probably not healthy.
I think,
but other than that, very similar.
Yeah.
She's our mom.
I've trusted people a little bit too much like Ruby, but the biggest connection I have is that Ruby is a huge weapons nerd, and they make a point for her to literally like fangirl out when she sees people with new weaponry. And that's how I feel at every convention. I'm like, oh, check out that cosplay. Oh my God, they're selling this.
I think
How
you're
exciting.
a big vein of positivity for us.
Oh, well,
Yes,
thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Something I love about the animation style is it kind of reminds me of a video game. Like when those scythes come out, it's so dramatic, and you're like mega butt kicking a la video game. What do you guys nerd out for? Do you guys get into games? Does anime affect the way you guys portray it?
I mean, the show is heavily influenced by anime, and a lot of the people on the cast and working on the crew are fans of anime and video games themselves. I work for a department at Rooster Teeth called Achievement Hunter, where we focus on video game play.
Oh, wow.
So it's like all of my interests have combined into this show for sure. But the creator of the show and one of the original animators, Monty, he was also heavily influenced by video games, specifically like video game fight combinations. So what you're seeing in a lot of the earlier episodes as well is when there are fight sequences, those are combos, basically.
Nice.
Right, just like from a video game,
Yeah.
you know, and it's great.
Yeah, I nerd over cartoons. I know it's kind of like a big genre, but growing up I watched cartoons and Disney movies and everything like that. So to be able to be a cartoon character now is so surreal and so crazy.
It's really very exciting to start to get to meet all of the voice actors from the cartoons that I used to watch, like the Animaniacs and SpongeBob.
I met Belle the other day.
Yeah.
You met Belle?
Belle.
That's a good one.
I know
That's a good
Hercules,
get.
young Hercules.
I'm
We
excited
know
for
young
her.
Hercules. Oh gosh, but yeah, no, I nerd over like the classic nerd stuff, like Doctor Who and Harry Potter, and
We just had Jodie Whittaker over
Oh,
here.
that's awesome.
We just met the new doctor. Angelique got to
you
chat with her.
shut up.
Michael and
How
Lindsay.
was
I'm kind of still glowing. It's fine.
Yeah.
I can see it.
You've got that new Dr. Glow.
Yeah, I do. She's like a ball of
Yeah.
joy.
Yeah.
I would need to meet her.
So, what do you think is the most challenging thing? I know, when you're dealing with voiceovers, it's always like some people love it, like it's everything. It's so easy. But do you feel like there's something you love? Is there something challenging? Is something you learned?
It is challenging to kind of adjust and shift, especially like a lot of us that come from on-camera presence, and we still do that. But for me, I feel like I am just so awkward with my body, and I do not like the way that I look on camera. So to forget about that in the booth and be like, it's okay, just be a weirdo. As long as it sounds fine, who cares? That's the best thing for me. So I really like being in the booth.
I'd say one of the biggest challenges is definitely, as we've been talking about combat and fighting, is actually, bringing those noises to life, because we're not used to, I've never been in a serious, hand-to-hand combat fight. So
You don't?
making-
You haven't?
Surprise.
Weird.
Dallas is hard.
Don't tell anyone. Gosh, I don't want to get in trouble. No, I'm just kidding. So bringing out, the real, to be realistic in a fight is kind of hard when you're not used to being someone that, is so aggressive. But it's a lot of fun, though, at the same time.
I really love doing voiceover, the irony.
You're really good at it.
Yeah,
I could say.
it's really good. But I was always like the little kid who would do really strange voices and accents, and I never really thought that I could do anything with that. I never even considered that I was something that people don't do. But apparently I was weird. And it's really nice to be able to do something with this weird talent that I have.
That sounds great.
Fun.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for me is doing scenes where it's an emotion or a situation that I've never experienced in real life, and trying to pull some type of relatable experience for that. Like there's a whole scene where Yang confronts her mom who abandoned her, and I've been lucky enough to not have ever had a parent who abandoned me. So trying to figure out how to emote that and how to express that is a challenge, but I think that's what makes it so fun.
Well, the show is wonderful. Everyone, check out the new season of RWBY, October
27th.
27th. There we go. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us.
Thank
and
you.
For you guys
Appreciate
watching
it.
Marvel Live.